Hello and welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be with you today. My name is LaToya Stone, and I am a certified spiritual life coach and the creator and lead coach of Your Hidden Treasure, Inc., a coaching practice that supports people in where they are to where they desire to be. I've been on this journey since 2001 officially. I think I've really been on this journey all my life. However, I started in 2001 really doing the healing and wellness work for myself first and foremost. And then in 2011, I began supporting others. And I've worked with a number of people in the US and in the Caribbean islands, just really manifesting their deepest desires. So again, I am so honored to be here today, and I'm happy to be working with the Conflict Resolution Center of Montgomery County. As I mentioned before, I am a coach, so I am pretty biased about wellness, and any organizations that's offering services to heal and to up level our community, I am all for. So I support them so much in doing the work that they do, and they offer free mediation sessions. How amazing is that? Our community needs more organizations like this. So if you are in need of mediation, whether for yourself, your families, or any businesses that you are a part of, please reach out to them. They are an excellent resource. You can call them at 301-652-0717. That number again is 301-652-0717. So I mentioned that I'm a coach. I am also newly an author. Just finished completing my first book project titled Life Lessons That Heal the Soul. So this book is very dear to me because it's about the lessons that we learn in our life. I believe that all of our experiences are here to teach us something. So it's really happening for us, not to us. No matter what your experience has been, it is for a greater purpose if you can look at it as such. And so what this book gives is an opportunity for you to reflect on your own life's journey and lessons and see how it was created and started within your life to get you to where you want to be now. Because when I look over my life, when I was going through it, I didn't understand. But now as I connect the dots, it totally makes sense because it has created me to be who I am today. And so if you're interested in doing some self-reflection, and the way the book is designed is for a 23-day process, guess what? I have some more exciting news for you. The Conflict Resolution Center, if you donate to them $50 or more, they will give you a free copy. Yes, if you donate $50 or more, you will get a free copy of Life Lessons That Heal the Soul. So please go to their website and donate for this amazing resource that is in the community to support us all in being whole. Here we are at the end of 2020, and what a year it truly has been. In our lifetimes, we have seen nothing like what we experienced this year. And I know that everything is intentional, and there is a greater purpose for us within this time. I've talked to many people who has benefited in some areas, and then I've talked to many people who has received a lot of losses. And so in this time, we get an opportunity to reflect on our own personal life journey within this year. And when I think about the lessons even that I've learned within this year, I think about what was one of the things that was really supportive. And the thing that comes to mind when I think about this year, the word that comes up is flexibility. When I looked up the term flexibility, it is the ability to bend without breaking. And that is such a powerful definition, because in this year, we had to bend and change things like we've never did before. Our education system is not like it was before. Our work systems are not like it was before. So we had to bend and change and adjust. And that is really a key to our life if we are able to do that with ease and with grace. And what I find is that you're able to do that if you're able to set intentions. And when I say the term intentions, I mean really stating your desired outcome and allowing yourself to see what it is that you truly want to experience in your life. And so when we are able to create that, we have allowed ourselves the freedom, the flexibility to bend, to maneuver through life differently, to allow our outside circumstances not to affect the inside. And so it's a really great task to become comfortable with and to get in a system for. So what I would like to offer with intentions is that you create an intention that is really clear. Right. So starting there is the very key to creating or manifesting the intention that you desire. And make sure it's clear. Make sure it's measurable. Make sure that it is self-generated, meaning that you're not going to include someone else in your intention, right? Because your intention is the way you desire to feel. And so when we can create a really intentional life, our life feels very different. So no matter what happens in the world, we can still be centered and grounded. Sometimes there's a lot of conflict that's happening, not only on the outside, but on the inside. Most times people are thinking one thing and their actions are doing a complete different. So bringing it into alignment takes a lot of practice and it takes some support. So again, if you need some support, some mediation, please contact the conflict resolution of Montgomery County, because they have excellent services to support you. And as I said, I'm a fan of the support. And so please contact them at www.crcmc.org. I want to share a tool to support us in the way we operate. And so this one is the way we listen. And it happens so quickly, almost in nanoseconds, this process gets unfolded. It starts with the thought, and the thought starts in during and following a conversation, a situation, a circumstance. And activated is our core belief, and our core belief usually is something that we hold true in our mind. It can be, culturally, it could be based on our family structures. It could be something that we learned along the way and we now created a belief around it. Some beliefs we honestly haven't challenged. It's been from when we were a kid to right now, and we just kind of have held it. And so I would also, side note, offer that you begin to look at what are your belief systems, what are the things that you truly believe, and is it still accurate for you, right? So that's a good exercise that you can do, because again, everything starts in our mind and everything is based through the lens of our beliefs. So after the thought, then there is a feeling that occurs from the thought, right? And so the feeling is an emotional response from the core belief. So this is how it's all tied together, and it happens so quickly, right? Most times we don't even see, we're not aware of the thought, we're not aware of the feeling, but the third part, that's the part we see, right? The third part is the action, the behavior that comes and sparks from the feeling and from the thought, right? So a great analogy that I always use is about waves, right? So if you follow the waves, right, what's really happening to allow the waves to have that beautiful movement is all the way at the bottom. That current all the way at the bottom. That's what's allowing the waves to have that beautiful movement. And that's the same thing with us. The response, the behaviors that we see with ourselves, with others, it's not just the behavior. It's starting all the way back when we had that thought, it ignited that feeling. And so I think it's just really helpful for us to know that, as we interact with other people and as we watch ourselves. I think another really great gift that we can do is watching ourselves. So remember, the way we listen is we ignite a thought, and then the feeling occurs within our body, and then there is an action. This actually happens about 4 times really quickly. So from the thought, it goes to a feeling, and then it goes to a behavior. Then it goes back to a thought, a feeling, and it just keeps going deeper. Sometimes I utilize the term spiral staircase. Sometimes that happens. What I tend to do to help me stop that staircase from going so rapidly is taking a breath. right? Because taking a breath is the fastest way for me to move from my head with all of those thoughts down to my heart. Another thing is you can, affirm the truth, because sometimes that spiral staircase is not necessarily really positive. So you can affirm the truth by creating a declaration of something that you really are. So I want to offer some solutions to support you in the process of recognize this when you're in the process of listening, and what can support you from the inside out. So the first thing is really knowing yourself, right? I always say that if you can master who you are, that's like our goal in life, right? Because we're very complicated beings. and so just being able to be that observer and watch yourself, and to be non-judgmental in the process, you get the opportunity to demonstrate that you care about who you are and how you feel. And there is truly no gift greater, right? And so that's one resolution, is to truly know who you are. And that takes work. It takes ongoing practice. It takes ongoing support, whether you have a mediator, a coach, a therapist, but it takes a lot to move through that process. And so I encourage you to do that. Another resolution is a willingness to be able to communicate what you need and desire authentically, right? Just being fully who you are no matter what. Not in the space of people pleasing and just doing and saying things that you think people want to hear, but truly taking a stand for who you are, right? Because who you are matters, and it is really important. So these are resolutions that can support you within that process of listening, so that the thought, the feeling, and the behavior is more in alignment with what you want to see in your life. The next one is to be able to trust yourself, right? And I know many of us think that, I don't trust this one, and I don't trust, this system. But the real trust that we get to explore is trusting ourselves, knowing that we can be not okay and recover. Right? We all are human. So there is a point in time in all of our lives that we're not okay. Right? Emotions are just energy in motion. I really feel like it's there to teach us something, right? And so the only reason we know joy is because we had pain, right? And so when we're in the pain, we just feel like, no, that shouldn't be, but it really does birth the higher vibrational frequency. So just know that you can not feel okay and recover. And another great thing with trusting yourself is that, and my teacher says this to me all the time, you are exactly where you need to be. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but you are exactly where you need to be. There's no you should be here or you could have did this. You are exactly where you need to be at this right now moment for what you need to create in the next moment. Right? So just receive that. Let's take a breath. And the next one, loving yourself. Before you can love anyone else, you have to be able to love yourself. And I want to attach love and forgiveness for you, right? Because to love and forgive yourself for the judgments that you've created around yourself, to forgive yourself for the things that you thought you should have did. Just forgive yourself for everything, because that will truly birth the love that you are yearning for within yourself. These are all resolutions that can support your cycle of listening, so that when you listen, you can listen with a different lens, and you can listen with the opportunity of hearing things differently. So I often say, people say words, but we hear something different. And the things that we hear is based on what's already inside, right? And a good example I like to use, if someone said, Toya, I love your pink hair. I'm not going to be like, you like my pink hair? Why you said you like my hair? No, I would say, oh, I don't have pink hair. But if they said, Toya, I don't like your hair, and that day I felt like I was having a bad hair day already, then that might affect me, right? It's not what the people are saying, it's what I'm telling myself inside that's really the effect, right? And so let's just be able to forgive ourselves for all that we are saying that is really not true, so that we can again create what we desire. Another one is to fully accept yourself, right? Accept flaws and all, right? Because the truth is, we are divinely made, right? And with purpose. And so just know that you can handle whatever you are in, right? Because what you are in was designed for you. It may not look that way sometimes, but it is designed for you. Again, if we can look with the lens of how can we see this as a opportunity or growth versus a time of defeat, right? So you get to choose. You know, I always say that it's the thought that changes the way we'll feel, right? And you know this now too, because the system is thought, feeling, and then the action, right? So I can have the same physical sensations for excitement and for nervousness, but now the thought I hold is what changes whether I feel excited or nervous, right? So it's always starting back at the thought. Always starting back at the thought. So you really can handle whatever you're going through, because that's why you're in this situation. So I would say also release the need for your defense mechanisms to come up as you're handling whatever your situation may be, right? So accept yourself fully, that I am fully equipped for where I am today, right? And if 2020 has taught us anything more, that we are all prepared and ready, even though it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but we are. This one is big. Accountability. This is huge, because I find that it is so easy for many of us to blame instead of taking full and complete ownership of what we are saying, doing, thinking, just full and complete ownership. And so, you know, the saying is, when you point one finger, how many fingers are pointing back? Right, exactly. More fingers point back at you. So release the need to blame and just look at ways to take ownership. Acknowledge what has happened, and then look inside of yourself, because that's the only thing we have full and complete control over, and see how you can take ownership so that you can shift for the future. Lastly, appreciate yourself. You deserve the best. And know that in every situation, you can utilize it as your growth, your healing, your advancement, if you choose. So that's a question that you can ask yourself. How can I use this experience for my greater growth? How can I use this experience for my highest good? How can I use this experience to get me to where I desire? Because there must be a reason, there must be a purpose greater than what I'm seeing in this moment that will allow me to create what I desire. So those are some resolutions that you can utilize as you go through your listening cycle. Remembering that it starts with a thought, that thought moves to a feeling, that feeling moves to a action. That's just the way it goes, very, very quickly. Knowing this information is only the first step. Integrating into our lives, we can see the full and complete benefits of this. So I urge and challenge each of you to begin to just take one small step into the direction of you being able to listen a little differently. Hopefully this was supportive for you to learn about how you listen, and that you can utilize this in all areas of your life. So as you end this year, utilize something you learned today into the way you move forward in the next few days. It's always my pleasure and delight to share. I truly enjoy this work. If you are looking for more opportunities to connect with myself and your hidden treasure, please feel free to go to the website www.yhtcoaching.com. Again, www.yhtcoaching.com. Again, utilize your resources in Montgomery County. They have excellent services at the Conflict Resolution Center for you that are free, where it can be whether your families, individuals, and businesses that offer mediation. And sometimes you just need that neutral party there to support the healing process that is necessary. So if you're in need of that service, please go to crcmc.org. That's again crcmc.org. I'm sure they will be delighted to hear from you. And also remember, if you really want to take this journey for yourself and do your reflection on the life lessons that you have learned within your lifetime, please donate to this amazing organization. And for every $50 or more, they will give you a free book. So it's a win-win, right? You donate to this amazing resource in our community, and they will provide you with a free book of life lessons that heal the soul. Again, their website is crcmc.org. And if you're going to donate, just /donate. Again, it is really a pleasure and honor to spend some time with you today. And I hope that when you finish this session, that you feel a little bit brighter